So in this last part, you're going to be in this topics page. If you remember, you're inside slavery in America, and you're going to go to Slave Voyages over the Atlantic Ocean. That's going to take you here, a massive site filled with information on thousands of voyages that took place between the years 1500 and 1866, when all slave voyages finally were over. So you're going to go to, click on Transatlantic, go to Database. It's going to bring you here. This is the very, let's see here. I think we can start there. 1514 is the very first known voyage involving picking up slaves from, or people from Africa, and then enslaving them somewhere. In this case, it was, I think the Portuguese went to the Congo River area. They took them back to Vigo, which is a city in Portugal. We don't know anything else about it. But 2 years later, there's a voyage to the same area bringing people to Lisbon, and that was captained by a man named Cristobal, must be Coimbra. Okay, so what I want you to do is just find any voyage somewhere in history between 1500 and 1866. So to do that, you can just go right up here to year range and say we want to do like 1707. Now you pick your own, okay? I'm just choosing this one, just something at random. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to bring up all these. In fact, it looks like there were 7 pages of that hold information of voyages that took place that year. The names of these ships, because now it's a little later in time, records are a little bit more updated. Where it began, looks like London, for example, where people were taken or bought, and then where they went. And then how many captives actually arrived, and the ship's captain. So you can pick whatever you want. If you want to pick something that might have brought people to the colonies, you can certainly look for that. But you're going to have to keep in mind the vast majority of people that were taken from Africa, like the 10 to 12 million, if not more, went to the Caribbean or South America or Central America. A small fraction came to what's now the United States. Hundreds of thousands, but a small fraction. So all of these here are going to be in South America or the Caribbean. So we can just keep looking around if you want. Be totally random here. Jamaica, Barbados, Bahia, all of that. Caribbean. So I'm just going to go back here, and here's one that says Maryland. Oh, that's a colony in North America. So I'm going to look for it. So I'm going to go to this one here. A ship called Young Margaret out of London in 1707 went to Gambia on the west coast of Africa. Loaded up with people and went to Maryland. The captain was James Frisbee. So I'm going to click it. So once you do this, you're going to get some information. And this is the information that you're going to put on your document right here. You're just going to enter a little bit of information of what you learned about this voyage just down here. Doesn't need to be anything more than that. Okay, so we're going to get rid of him and go back over here. So you got the name of the ship, maybe even, here's the owners. You got at least 3 or 4 owners. It's Great Britain. It's part of the British Empire. Delivered slaves for owners. They must have known who they were going to go to, where it was from. Maryland doesn't say what port though. Let's see. Okay, just looking at all that. Looks like 233 people aborted it. Oh, here you go. 299 boarded it. That's embarked. Only 265 got off. So 34 people died on that voyage. It's believed that over 2 million people died in this passage over, this middle passage to the Americas. You got some other things you can look at for info, and that's about it. Okay, so that's all we know about that voyage. Good enough? I'd put that on my sheet, and I would be done. Okay, that's how that works.